We are back on episode 2 with Rita Haddad, and apparently in Arabic it is more boring than that. Your business, tell us the name so I don't butcher it again.
Sure.
And also tell us the basics of it.
Absolutely. Well, first, thank you for having me on your podcast. I'm super excited to be here. And my business is Sana Anima Wellness Center. Sana Anima means to heal the soul in Latin. And it's been 20 years in the making. I always knew I would have a wellness center, but my background is in counseling. So I always thought it would be a place where me and a bunch of other therapists congregated and just therapized the heck out of everybody, right? I think God just had a different plan for me. And so now my wellness center focuses primarily on everything that has to do with healing outside of the traditional medical model. So I lean on ancient, timeless healing modalities across cultures, the things that generations prior, when you think before technology advanced as much as it has today, what did people do that kept them alive? And that's what I try to lean on. So food as medicine, herbal tinctures, essential oils. We get a little crystal and a little energy going in there because we've got to help ourselves to stay balanced and revived. And so it's a little bit of everything. And you work in some of the counseling and some of the coaching, and we get you off the dieting bandwagon. And it's just all about healing the relationship to yourself, the relationship to food, and getting you from where you are today to where you want to be, without stepping foot in a gym or a doctor's office or a pharmacy, unless that's absolutely where you want to be. And in that case, you're probably not a good candidate to work with me.
Fair. We first met at the farmer's market, right?
Yeah.
You sell your oils, your tinctures. What are the other things that you sell at the Wake Forest market?
Mm-hmm. I sell herbal tinctures. I have 4 currently, 2 of which are fresh herb tinctures, which grow in my backyard. So that's super exciting. I've got a fresh olive leaf tincture and a fresh skullcap tincture that grow in my backyard. And I also have cat's claw, which I say is anti-everything. It's sort of, if you don't know where to start with your health, you start with cat's claw or frankincense oil. Those 2 will heal pretty much everything. I have targeted therapeutic essential oil blends, and that means they're not things you'll roll on your skin just to say like, oh, this smells totally amazing, I'm going to wear this before I leave the house.
Yeah.
They're very targeted. So for example, if you're super, super overwhelmed, you're going to want to reach for a specific chakra blend, or you're going to want to reach for a grounding blend. If you're struggling with inflammation, if you're struggling with stomach cramps, if you're struggling with hot flashes, there are specific blends that are targeted for specific things, because everything that I do is very intentional. My goal is to help you to heal more than anything else. If I have to help you to heal at a loss, unfortunately, I will do that because I'm truly a healer. And it's my desire for everybody who comes across my path to be better when they leave my practice.
Do the health solutions, I'll call it, that you offer coincide or work well with Western medicine, or are you kind of different?
It can go either way.
Okay.
So I get a lot of people, especially at the farmer's market, who say, you are speaking my language, honey. I'm right there with you.
Mm-hmm.
I get some folks who say, I'm all about those detoxes. I'm all about those, getting rid of those heavy metals, but I use these products that I purchase. And I always respond back the same way. I don't know what those things are, but I can tell you the foods and the herbs that will do exactly that same thing. Mm-hmm. Some of the herbs are contraindicative with Western medicine. So it's my job as a practitioner to look into that and to make sure I don't put anybody at risk. So I try to make sure I give full content information to each person who purchases something from me, especially if it's going to have contraindications. So if you're pregnant, if you're nursing, if you're taking blood thinners, if you've got liver conditions, I make sure to include that kind of information. And I try to let you know this will not be safe for you. Please don't buy it. Don't purchase it at your own risk.
Yeah. I would consider myself not, I guess the right word is not leery of some Eastern medicine type things, but I just was raised in a conservative background. Like we had our family doctor, everything to the book Western medicine.
Sure.
And I'm not really trying to separate what you do with what standard medicine would be, but do you have folks that are standoffish or think, yeah, this isn't for me? How do you work with those individuals that maybe don't know any of the oils or maybe aren't in the league of the folks that come up and know what it is?
I don't work with people who don't want to work with me.
Okay.
So I'm not
Yeah.
going to sit there and try to convince you that my approach is better if you don't already think so.
Yeah.
I do get a lot of people asking questions, and they'll say to me, I've always heard about, you go back to frankincense. I've always heard about frankincense. Tell me more about it. And I'll say, great, I've got this little information card here that tells you some of the healing properties of frankincense. Here are some ways it's used. I put at least 1 to 2 drops of frankincense in almost every single therapeutic blend that I have. And I've got something like 45 different blends.
Wow.
I don't sell all of them at the market, but I've got recipes. And I never even finished telling you what I have. And I've got sprays, right? And I've got magnesium oil and all these different sprays that some of them do contain essential oils, right? And so telling you, I put frankincense in all of these things because of its magnificent healing properties.
Mm-hmm.
And they might say, oh, I should have known. That's why I've always heard of frankincense being so great. Oh, this is amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'll come back next week. Or, oh, it's only such and such price. I'll get it now and I'll try it. And then I often get people who come back and they say, you really surprised me. I didn't think it would work as well. I didn't think it would work so well. I thought maybe I would notice a little, or maybe it would take more time to notice the results, but almost instantly, like incredible, amazing. I'm sleeping better. I'm feeling better. My sinuses are clearing up after working in the yard. Everything you've given me has been incredible and amazing. And I'm just like, that's beautiful. That's what I want for you. I want you to realize that living does not mean suffering. You don't have to suffer to live. You can change that suffering, whether it's a mental, emotional thing, whether it's an energetic block, whether it's a food that you're eating that's causing a disarray inside of your body somewhere. My goal for you is to bring all of that down. Bring all of that down so that you can say, and your body can take a sigh of relief and say, now I can live.
Yeah, we carry so many things with us, whether it's something from our past to neck pain,
Absolutely.
And speaking of neck pain, one time I was at the market, I shopped your booth and I got the magnesium oil. I've been using it daily. And almost daily, I try my best to be on a regimen of some sort.
Sure.
But what I'm getting at is I put it on my neck, I put it on my lower back, and on my feet.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's certainly helping. I think that when I'm tired, I'm groggy, and I need relief where I carry my stress.
Mm-hmm.
And if my body's not stacked correctly before I leave the house, I'm going to pull something.
Yeah.
So anything like an oil or a cream, those things that you do daily and make it part of your regimen, I'm all about that, certainly helping you.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you carry all these different oils at the market. Tell me more about the wellness side of your business. You do like a healing session. What do you call it?
Yeah, I have healing sessions which range from 30 minutes to an hour, and they can be any number of multiple modalities that I can offer. So, for example, chakra balancing, energy healing, sound therapy, essential oil therapy, right? So, for example, if I say, okay, on Thursday, I'll be at Workspace and I'm offering 30-minute essential oil therapy sessions around immunity, cardiovascular system, and digestive system, specifically those three things. I want you to book your appointment on that day. I want you to spend 30 minutes taking care of yourself, and you let me and the oils do the work of healing. You just take that self-care for that half an hour and you let yourself relax and allow the oils to just seep into every cell in your body. And what I would be using, for example, in that scenario would be specific oils that come from plants that have been known for centuries to target those areas of the body. And because we absorb them through the skin and we're not taking them in through our digestive system, they enter every cell in our body within less than 90 seconds. Less than 90 seconds.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
The sessions that you do, how long are they typically?
So the healing sessions are typically 30 minutes to an hour. I do a lot of coaching with people around cleansing the liver, reducing inflammation, getting people eating according to their blood type, which is a huge part of the healing process, right? Is reducing the foods that are causing more inflammation for you. So there's a lot of mentoring around those aspects, getting off the dieting bandwagon, loving the skin that you're in, even if it doesn't look like what you would want, and really shifting of the mentality. And when you clear all of that noise, a lot of emotional and spiritual stuff that you've been suppressing tends to come up. And that's where my counseling background comes into play, because then I'm equipped with the tools to be able to help people. I'm not counseling people. I'm not giving advice. I'm not doing therapy, but I have the tools to be able to say, maybe let's try this, or take home this homework and decide if this is something that's going to help you before our next session. Those sessions are typically an hour, and then you can do a hybrid approach where you have both in one, and that can be an hour and a half to 2 hours. So I
Great.
offer all kinds.
You have a day you're booking these sessions coming up here at Workspace Provision?
Yes.
Yeah. How can folks book a session with you?
So I am here every second Thursday of each month for right now.
Great.
I would love to be able to increase my hours. If you book your appointment, it would allow me the opportunity to be here more often.
Mm-hmm.
And the way that you can do that is you can visit my website and contact me through my website. There's a contact form at the bottom of the homepage, and that would be santaanimawellness.com. Or you can email me, hello@santaanimawellness.com.
I love it. Santa Anima. It's like one word for me now.
Santa Anima.
Yeah. I was so worried about saying it incorrectly. So
You got it.
I was sure you did the introduction. Now, your husband, Khalil, I'm sorry.
That's all right.
Not Jaleel White, who was
Urkel.
Steve Urkel. Yeah. Khalil. There's no ha in that one.
Khalil.
Okay. AKA Charles.
AKA Charles Smith.
Yeah. He is awesome. I've gotten to be market buddies with him when he comes down. You have 4 beautiful girls. They are the same version. They're like the Russian doll. You open up and then there's the tiniest girl. And how old is your youngest?
She's 4.
4. It's so adorable. And your husband struts in with his girls, and he's kind of the pack mule of the situation sometimes.
Yeah.
Do you test some of your oils and some of your session on him ever, or?
It's very interesting. My husband and I are polar opposites.
Okay.
And I think that's why we ended up together, because we bring each other to the center, to the middle. So he is like, cool, you do your thing. I'm not interested in any of that.
Okay.
But I fully support you if that's what you want to do. However, when he came down back in December, he came down with a nasty case of severe eczema on his face. On his face. It was awful. It was red and thick, and colors changed, and his whole face was puffy, and he was super, super embarrassed, and we had to target it right away. And now my husband doesn't listen to anything I say when it comes to eating. He just does his own thing. And I'm like, that's fine. When you're ready, I'm here. I fully support you. But that day I said, take some cat's claw.
Okay.
Take some cat's claw. It's anti-everything. It will help whatever that is that's causing your eczema. And he woke up the next morning. He took it at night, Woke up the next morning about 70% better. And that's when he was convinced. And from that day forward, cat's claw and stinging nettle are his buddies. He has used my essential oils a few times. He had some sinuses and he used my Just Breathe oil once. It was hilarious to watch because he was like stuffed up and how do I use this thing? And I said, you just kind of tap it on your nose, just kind of roll it on right here where you're stuffing.
Yeah.
And he's like, okay. And watching him it was a proud moment for me, like watching a little bird learn how to fly.
Yeah.
So I'm cracking away at him slowly but surely because he, like you and like me, grew up with Western medicine. And he was not built like me around food or around wanting everything to be natural. I mean, I've been this way for a really long time. But I think being around me and seeing how effective these products are has helped him turn a corner. Not quite with his stubbornness, but with other things. It's helped him turn a corner. So he's getting there.
That's amazing. No, I'm so glad to hear he is rounding the corner. My wife and I, we work together daily, so we're always. Sometimes I'm envious of having separate work scenarios. If her and I get a rare date night, we talk about work.
Oh.
It's and it's not healthy. You know, we certainly have good times and we constantly make each other laugh, but most of it, unfortunately, is centered around work. So that is a good thing. There's pros and cons to it all.
You have to find a balance. My parents worked together for 50 years, side by side.
Yeah.
So I've been around it enough to know how difficult that can be, especially for the relationship.
Yeah. Do you have siblings?
I do. I'm the third out of 4.
Oh, wow. Okay. What are they spread all about? Or?
They're all in California.
California. Okay. And that's where you grew up?
That's where I grew up.
Yeah. Where in California?
Oh, all over. I grew up in the Central Valley, in the agricultural valley of right smack dab in the middle of nowhere. My town, my girls still laugh about this. I tell them my town was 3 miles by 3 miles. You know how big Wake Forest is? I looked it up this morning. Wake Forest is 19 square miles.
Wow.
My town was 3 square miles and had 3 stoplights.
This is the big city. Yeah.
No, the big city was when I moved to New York City.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I spent some time in New York City, did some grad school out there, met a whole bunch of amazing people, met my husband there.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Went to school in Northern California, UC Davis. My family's been in Southern California in Anaheim Hills, Orange County for 30-ish years. So I've been all over.
The background of being around agriculture, is that is that how you got your green thumb for what you grow now? Or
No.
I feel like every plant, I'll get hanging baskets. I come from an ag background myself, but when I try to do small micro things, I struggle.
I do too. You're not alone. I
Okay.
cannot keep a house plant alive. I said I can keep people alive, but not plants.
Yeah.
No, I think the country in me survived from that time, even though I left that area still as a teenager. So when I moved to Wake Forest, it was really, and that was, 12 or 13 years ago, that was really when I realized, like, wow, there's still some country in me. I did not realize how much that resided in me. But no, I think God He created a path for me. And as early as age 2, I was already listening to my body about food and saying no to certain things. I became a vegetarian at age 11 in a meat-eating family, in a meat-eating culture. And this was before all the meat substitutes. This was before Boca burgers. I mean, I remember getting to college almost 10 years after becoming a vegetarian, maybe 7 or 8 years later, and having them serve me a Boca burger in the dining hall. And I went back and yelled at them and threw it away. And I was like, this is a meat burger. And they said, no, ma'am, it's a vegetarian burger. And I was like, this looks and tastes like meat. I'm not going to eat it.
Wow.
Because it was so foreign. It was so new still.
Yeah.
So I think it was just a path that I was destined for from the beginning. And it just took me a while to really open my eyes and open my heart and accept the challenge, right? So Santa Anima Wellness was a name I had for the wellness center, and I even bought the domain years before I started making these products.
Okay.
Because it was just, I saw the word anima and I said, oh, there's something there. That's it. I got like a tingle. So I immediately said, okay, what does it mean? Okay, how do you say heal in Latin? Oh, there's an anima sana in Europe. Okay, I'm going to be Santa Anima. And right then
Great.
and there, I bought the domain and And then it just started flowing. The information started coming, the knowledge, things fell into my lap. I would meet people. I would attend conferences or lectures where little bits of information would kind of trickle in that I would say, oh, I remember when I was 17 reading such and such. And that kind of ties it all together now. That I always thought was useless information that my brain held on to. Now I can see why my brain held on to it, because now it's useful. And now that's how I'm supposed to be helping people with this information. So it's been a really beautiful journey.
Do you share some knowledge during your sessions or when you're selling something at the market or out and about of the benefits of what your do you call them patients or clients,
Yeah.
what they eat? Do you dive into any of that?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
If anything, I share too much, right?
Okay. Yeah. I'm always open ears about it because there is so much processed food.
Right.
I'm always looking for convenience, and that is probably slowly hurting me.
Well, you're a busy guy.
Yeah.
You're juggling a lot, so it's understandable.
Yeah. I know that I have an uncle that switched to a all plant-based diet, and it revolutionized his health. He went through a lot of challenges with diabetes, and I know there's benefits there. But then I read and watch videos of all carnivore diet, and then the benefits of fasting or intermittent fasting.
Right. I bring clarity around all of those things to each person based on where you are in your health.
Yeah.
What organs are you missing, right? So I get missing gallbladders and missing thyroids more than anything else. But occasionally I get something else that was taken out, part of a colon or a spleen or appendix or whatever. So where you are in your health, what organs do you still have, and what are they looking like? And that's where the energy healing session really comes into play.
Yeah. I look forward to doing a healing session at some point.
Sure.
My reservations are that you'll probably find lots of problems over here with this body, but I would say, and many people can probably agree that unfortunately we donate our bodies to the cause. What I mean by that is we're working hard. I think of my father, for instance, as a dairy farmer, and he certainly donated his body to his work.
Absolutely.
And so, whether it's eating fast food all the time or looking for convenience in your food or ignoring what your body's telling you, you put that off for so long that you fester a lot of issues in certain areas.
Yeah.
And I remember you saying one thing at the market, like I was saying something about my neck. It was first when you told me about the magnesium oil. And you said something along the lines of where people carry stress or heartbreak or pain or things that are maybe emotional or spiritual that find their way physically into your body.
Right.
And that kind of struck a chord. If you fix... not necessarily fix, but instead of looking at symptoms, try to find that root cause. And that's why I find what you're doing very valuable. In case you want my approval.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Stamp of approval, Grant Paxton here. I'm starting to lose train of thought, but you understand what
I do.
Yeah.
And let me ask you a question. What are your thoughts on acupuncture?
I've never done it.
But what are your thoughts? Is it a trusted form of healing? If you need, you got a wrench in your back, would you consider visiting an acupuncturist?
I would consider it.
Okay.
I don't know if I fully believe in it though.
Okay.
But I'm open to trying it.
Have you ever met anyone who's tried it?
Yeah, I know several people that swear by it.
Okay.
That do it weekly.
So what I do is like acupuncture, but without the needles.
Okay.
So acupuncture it comes from traditional Chinese medicine, and it's all about putting the needles in specific meridians or like energy highways in your body that are all linked to specific organs or organ systems. So for example, someone at the farmer's market last week told me their grandma always put peppermint oil on her earlobes and they never understood why. And I said, that goes back to the energy center. The earlobe is connected to one of the organs. I couldn't tell you which one because I haven't studied traditional Chinese medicine.
Okay.
I can tell you that the center of the soles of your feet and the bottom of your big toe are linked to your liver. So a lot of my oils I'll put on the label, roll it across those areas of your feet if you want to target the liver.
Hmm.
So in acupuncture, if you come in and you're like, I'm having all these stomach pains, I don't know what's wrong with me, I can't digest well, I think it might be my gallbladder. I'm not quite ready for a doctor to tell me I have to get my gallbladder removed, so I'm trying everything I can before I take that route. And you visit an acupuncturist, they're going to stick needles through the middle of your soles of your feet and the bottom of your big toe to move the energy through your liver and see if that helps your liver to decongest a little so it can do a better job of detoxing your body.
That is incredible.
Yeah.
I'm starting to learn for me, and maybe I'm just such a novice of health oriented things, but like my lower back hurting, for instance, or having sciatica pain or whatnot, uh, stretching other areas of your body will improve that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I learned to do from a couple doctors and therapists, learned to do specific stretches
Sure.
on things like other parts of my back, my neck, my rear end, for instance. Stretching those things out
Oh, yeah.
have considerably helped my lower back problem.
Oh, yeah. Connective tissue is all connected. So if you're
Yeah.
having back pain and you roll a tennis ball under your foot, it will relieve. Like if you try to touch your feet and you can't, and you roll a tennis ball under your foot and then you try to touch your feet, you will be able to place your palms on the floor.
Yeah.
Like it's all connected.
Yeah. See, there you go. And there'll be times where I will feel tingling in my extremities. And then that should be your clue. Hey, this is all connected. And
Yeah.
this is why your heel is vibrating all day long, is because something's pinched in your back.
Oh, yeah. I feel for you. That's not okay.
Yeah, no. What I'm getting at is just the connection of everything,
Absolutely.
and finding the root of the problem. And those are certainly all things I'm continuing to stamp my approval on.
Yeah.
But as we kind of wrap up our session, I really appreciate you doing this. This is fun. I learn something every time we talk. You're easy to talk to. You're bright, you're cheery, you're kind. Your whole family aspect, your entrepreneurial mindset, you know, that's what I think why we click pretty good.
Yeah.
Whether we're down at the market and between your husband, your family, and yourself, we're always trying to make each other laugh or do something goofy, you know, so that's important. But maybe just recap the types of referrals or clientele you're looking for, and reiterate to the days that you're here at Workspace Provision.
Let me start with that. I am
Okay.
here at Workspace Provision the second Thursday of every month. My appointments range from 8 a.m. to 8:30 p.m. So the last appointment would be 7:30 or 8 o'clock, depending on whether it's a 30-minute appointment or an hour-long appointment. If you would like to book an appointment, you can visit my website, santaanimawellness.com, or you can email me at hello@santaanimawellness.com.
Perfect.
The type of people I love to work with are people who are interested and motivated in healing. If you want to come to me and you seek information, but you're not going to go home and do the work, don't bother coming. And I say that, it sounds harsh, and I don't say it lightly. Like, I don't want to waste your time and money. I don't want to waste my time and time away from my family to work with a person for an hour or 2 hours or 6 sessions who's just going to go home and be like, this is not working for me. And I did maybe 50% of what you recommended. So I'm looking for highly motivated individuals who are fed up with not getting the answers they receive, who are sick and tired of feeling sick and tired, people who are curious about healing, who have heard things but don't really know what to do with that kind of information, sort of like, I've heard about the blood type diet, or I'm not sure if my liver is toxic, but I don't really know where to go from here. I'm your gal. You can come to me, you can visit me, and we can sit and have an easy, friendly conversation just like Grant and I are having now, to talk about your goals and your needs and your experiences and see if aligning on your health journey makes sense for both of us.
Perfect. Excellent.